So really, this idea that they should only acquit if they have reasonable doubts is kind of a silly one because they get to decide whether their doubts are reasonable or not. So I think that we have created a scheme that really confuses the issue. Ultimately, the way I see it, if the jury believes that there is a fair possibility, and this gets to the part of the instruction that defense attorneys tend to emphasize, that last part, if the jury believes that there's a fair possibility in light of the evidence that's been presented that the defendant is not guilty, they are obligated to find the defendant not guilty. So what I tell jurors is that even if you think it is extremely likely that the defendant committed the crime that they are being accused of, if based on the evidence as it stands, it is still possible that they did not, you are supposed to acquit. Now, that seems pretty straightforward to me, but for some reason, juries really struggle with this. The last trial I had, if you've watched my previous videos, you'll know I hung that last trial, and we had a split of 8-4, 8 for acquittal, 4 for conviction. And the 8 who were there for acquittal, they really got it. I spoke with the jury afterwards, and they got that they just felt like the state had not proven beyond a reasonable doubt that my client had committed the crimes he was accused of. They felt that the evidence could still leave the possibility of his innocence on the table. The last 4, in my opinion, they didn't follow the law. They listened to the alleged victim say that things happened, and they ignored a bunch of evidence that called the alleged victim's claim into question. And so they wanted to convict from the beginning. I think that if people took this instruction at face value and as seriously as I do, it would be very hard for the government to be able to overcome the presumption of innocence. But that's a good thing because we want to err on the side of not incarcerating innocent people. And that is a real danger. We know that people have been wrongfully convicted. Unfortunately, we know that we have, as a society, executed people who didn't do what they were accused of. We really need to be careful to not take a person's liberty away unless there's sufficient proof that they deserve it. And frankly, I think that a lot of times juries don't get that, and they give the prosecution a pass because they are overcome by the emotion of the case and because they don't appreciate that the evil of convicting someone who didn't do the offense is so much greater than the evil of letting someone who did do the thing walk or go free.